The unemployment rate fell by more than 2 percentage points, down to just about 11%.
That is a big positive. However, that is still only 34% of all the jobs lost in this pandemic.
This report is a report of the first part of June, where the economy was opening up. Unfortunately, not successfully. And I think when we see the whole month of June, sadly, it will show a different figure. We're all for, great news when there's a good jobs report, but let's see it in its proper perspective.
There's an optimism in the country that I think is often not shared with people who are on air. And that's only because we don't see the hiring. But people are hiring. Frankly, I found it astonishing.
Still higher than we had in the Great Recession or in the worst recession that we had in the 1980s. When you go beneath these numbers, you can still see some of the inequalities that this recession has laid bare. For some categories here, you've got really stubbornly high unemployment rates, 15.4% for Black Americans. So some of these sectors have been hurt really bad by this particular recession.
We're clearly in a new economic recovery. There's no way they can call these last 2 months a recession any longer.
But all these numbers came in before these huge spikes in new cases.
We've now got half of America, in fact, over half of America, pausing on reopening, some of them winding back. This number could be negative next month because we've had to pause because cases are rising.
In addition, 1.4 million people filed new jobless claims in the last week, but that is down for the 13th week in a row.
A couple of months ago, we were talking about whether the economy could recover from this dramatic shutdown. Well, now we know the answer to that. It can recover.
African-American workers really happily, for me, made historic gains with 404,000 jobs added last month alone, and that's a record. Today's announcement proves that our economy is roaring back. It's coming back extremely strong. We have some areas where we're putting out the flames or the fires, and that's working out well. We're working very closely with governors, and I think it's working out very well. I think you'll see that shortly. But these are numbers that are not numbers that other presidents would have, and they won't have it. The only thing that can kill it's a bad president or a president that wants to raise taxes. If you want to raise taxes, this whole thing, your 401ks will drop down to nothing, and your stock market will drop down to nothing. This is not just luck, what's happening. This is a lot of talent.